this morning.
And we were all set. We have a quorum now.
We have a quorum now. That's great. All right. Let's start. It's 9:31.
Oh, Ben, you muted yourself.
Yeah, thank you, because I lost Ben again.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yep,
I
got
can.
you.
Okay. I'm not sure why it's doing that. It's flipping back. Okay, so we'll review the meetings, the minutes of the meeting of April 3rd. Any motions?
Move their adoption.
A second?
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Oppose? Minutes pass. We'll do the old business last. We'll start with the continuing education hardship waiver extension request. The first one is Lori Graza. And she's looking, I'm looking for an extension to complete my continuing education due to extenuating circumstances. I've been unable to complete due to care for my parents who has been under testing and treatment for cancer. I intend to complete in April. Well, April's by, do you know, has she taken any courses? Rachel, do we know if you?
I'll look. Let me see.
Mr. Chairman, which person are we discussing?
This is the first one on the agenda. Lori Raza. Looking for an extension. She intends to, she says, I'll complete it in April. Well, April has passed, so I just want to know if she's passed, if she's completed it.
There's nothing in e-license, but again, they're not required to submit it to e-license anyway, so
Well,
I haven't heard back. I didn't receive any confirmation that it was completed.
Joe, can you double check to make sure we do before we make a decision here?
It's not in her. She didn't upload it into e-license, but they're not required to do so anyway. So
yeah, we don't ask for our copies of continuing education. That only on audit do we ask for copies of continuing education.
Also, Mr. Chairman, I was hoping you could refresh my memory. In the past, have we allowed hardship where it has been apparent, where the person has been the caregiver, or has it only been hardship where the person themselves have suffered the hardship?
Versus themselves.
So based on that, this, to keep this symmetrical, if you're ready for a motion.
I think all these
That
opportunities.
motion is accurate anyhow. We shouldn't be discussing it without the motion first. So go ahead.
I move that we deny the request.
Looking for a second.
Second, for purposes of discussion.
Discussion.
A question, if she had taken the courses by April, would she wouldn't have complied though still, would she?
No, she would not have. And I was out of order, as Morag pointed out. My point is to keep this symmetrical with other requests and we've denied others for the same reason. So I don't see how we can be asymmetrical here.
Yeah, I mean, I could see a situation where it would be somebody other than the individual, but I don't think this is the case here.
We've had other cases, and it seems like people have had the opportunity. There's so many other opportunities to take them online today. So anyhow, ready to make, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Application is denied. Okay, Rebecca Urbini is the next one. If I can find it.
I move that we approve it for purposes of discussion.
Second,
Well, somehow I don't have that. Hold on 1 second.
She had an emergency C-section and a brutal recovery. The issue that I have is I don't know the extent of it. I don't, it's hard to know. I mean, clearly when we have someone, we've had some cases where people have very serious cancers in very, very serious situations. This could be, but without a physician's note or something like that, it's hard for me as a layperson to know, to understand how complicated this was and how it prevented her.
does it say how long ago she had the C-section?
Morag, I'm looking into to answer your question. It does not specify.
Okay,
It's two sentences. I had an emergency C-section and went to a brutal recovery. I was preoccupied with healing. I am signed up to do April class to fulfill my CE. And I don't know. And I don't know if, with some of these surgeries, I mean, that is a major surgery. I don't know if she was on narcotics and may have not had the mental wherewithal to do the CE until she was off the narcotics, assuming she was even on them in the first place.
Yes, yeah, but it doesn't say really when this happened, when this occurred. And also, I think even she's recovery. I mean, there should have been some type of attempt here to take these classes online.
Can you take classes if your mind is not where it should be because of medications?
I think they usually very low dose it.
You know more about that than I ever will.
I don't want to know about it, but if she's nursing too, they would be very careful in terms of giving her, any kind of narcotic. But again, we're talking potentials. We don't have facts here.
We are speculating. You're correct.
So the motion is,
Let's do it in April, so hopefully she's already,
yeah,
So the motion is to approve. Do we want to take a vote on that?
I think we have to, unless you want to withdraw the motion, but
Yeah, I'm going to withdraw the motion.
I'll withdraw my second.
And I'm instead going to put in a motion to deny.
second
Second,
discussion.
Do we
again.
know,
Go ahead.
whether or not you signed up for the April class?
We don't have any way of knowing that.
That should be their responsibility anyhow.
So I guess my discussion point on this is there's too little for us to go on to approve it. Without a doctor's note, without evidence that she's enrolled or completed or, anything else, we can't seem to approve this because we just don't have enough information to approve it.
There's no current status where she's at.
And of course, she was advised that we were going to be discussing this today, so she had an opportunity to join us if she wished.
Yes, everyone was notified.
Thank you.
All through the discussion?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Aye. This is James Reno. James Reno asks me to see, this is somebody's, can you read this? Have you seen this? Read
Yes.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's
I
asking
move
for-
that,
Yeah.
I move to accept this, waiver.
Second,
Discussion?
This is a real hardship. This person's having heart surgery and all kinds of extensive procedures. There's no way that a person doing this can do continuing ed at the moment, to my
Well,
mind.
To be honest with you, I really feel that he's probably at a stage that he probably his license. I don't know how much real estate he can do. He's been 60 years and he's got some health conditions here to it, but
My thought is we give him time. We pray he gets better. He does his CE and he continues on his career.
so let's put how much time do we think we want to give him?
I'm sorry, would you say that?
How much time do we want to give him? And give you a suggestion? Let me do it till July 1st.
Are you guys comfortable with 120 days? Does that seem reasonable?
Well,
I mean, medically,
I think
it's very
that's,
hard to
that's,
make a
I think that's,
decision.
Is 90 days typically what we do?
anywhere from 60 to 90 days. That's 3 months.
I'm in favor of giving him the 90 days if you guys are comfortable with that.
okay,
Yes, 90 days. I think that's
Good
more
luck.
than
Good
reasonable.
luck, yeah.
Right. He can also apply for, if he wants a license, just to be licensed, he can be a retired license.
Yeah.
If he has a problem, he may go into that retired life, still be licensed, but he'd be retired. All right, so let's, the motion is to approve. Oh, yeah, is any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So we're gonna give him 90 days extension.
At 90 days from today.
90 days from today, that's correct.
Thank you.
Okay, continuing education equivalency reviews. First one is Michael Afegna. And he's looking for 6 hours. I've gone through this, his courses. Realty Institute is not a approved by Connecticut. It's New York, but some of these courses are pretty universal. One is your understanding real estate financing,
Yeah.
and I think the other one was implicit bias. So I'm for approving 6 hours.
Real estate finance, he's got 3.5 hours.
Or we're only gonna give 3.
Okay, 3. And then implicit bias, you're thinking another 3.
Mhm.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second. For discussion.
I think I agree with what the chairman said. I think it covers the 6 hours. I think it's New York specific. I'm comfortable with it.
Well, we're not, I don't think it's specifically New York. but
Correct. I
I'm not looking-
misspoke.
I'm not looking for New York, looking for. the
Correct. I
overall.
misspoke. It's not a Connecticut approved school is what I meant. And
That's
it's
correct.
designed for New York. However, these topics are applicable to Connecticut.
Correct. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
6
Aye.
hours. Oppose? Yes. So Rochelle, you got that? We approve 6 hours?
Got it.
The next one is Matthew Felice. Again, he's looking for, reaching out to my Connecticut broker's license. It's set to expire on November 30th. This is for his broker's license. So he's looking for these courses to be approved for his broker's license. He's not a salesman. So he's got time. He wants to know if the courses are acceptable. He's looking for 9 hours. I think I went too quickly on my saw only. The bias course.
There's ethics, fair housing.
Code of ethics and standard practice. And fair housing, but.
Yeah.
Looking to give, he needs to take the mandatory course off. These are all for electives, by the way. So. I'm gonna approve 6 hours. Anybody else? Gone through these?
He wants 9 hours, doesn't he?
He wants 9, but
Yeah.
I feel comfortable at 6.
That would be which ones? Ethics and fair housing or implicit bias?
That would be, a second.
Yeah, ethics and fair housing.
Ethics and fair housing.
Yeah, we're considering implicit bias to be part of fair housing.
This is, but this is a separate course. Part of it, okay? So I need a motion to approve the 6 hours.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Approve for 6 hours. Okay, John Gendron. Here are courses again in New York. Here are courses taken in New York. I also have CE from Massachusetts, AmGM, of the state. Anyway, so. Again, I look through this.
Commercial real estate transactions and fair housing,
Mm-hmm.
commercial leasing, cultural competency, implicit bias.
The problem here is I don't see the amount of hours broken down. Did I miss something? I think it's just all together.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna divide these up. You understand why? No.
Oh, I think it does give it, I'm looking at the cultural competency, and it says 3.75 hours.
Yeah, let me see
So in
that.
the, and then so the commercial leasing, 3.75 hours.
Harness, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I guess they're probably all 3.75.
Yeah.
So,
I move that we accept 6 hours.
Second.
To me, he's got two classes. He's got the fair housing and he's got,
Nice.
yes, thank you.
so I feel that's correct. So I need a motion for that, 6 hours?
Yep.
I think I need to make a motion of it.
We have a motion and a
We
second.
have the motion and the second.
Okay, we discuss it then. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, oppose? So Rochelle, we're going to be approving this for 6 hours. Oh, I really can't pronounce his last name. Inu, I guess it is. Again, the courses that I see here is fair housing. And also the implicit bias. Name is, that's 6 hours.
All right, I move that we approve 6 hours.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Okay, so we've accepted, we passed for 6 hours of approved. Okay, Joan Keating. I'm quite sure we're at here. She's looking at, I would like to ask the review again. I've taken over 100 equivalent credits by licensing in Florida over the last 2 years. I'm overly educated according to your requirements. I was unaware of the changes made to the system prior to taking a class explaining your new demands. You have been unduly restricted on this and not supporting for the purpose of creating an education requirement. I feel the treatment is wholly unfair, unnecessary, especially for any agent licensed for over 20 years in 2 states, in 2 years in a 3rd state.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we deny this.
Second.
My issue is the same as it was the first time. We have 45 hours, but she doesn't give us the breakdown. I can't decide if I don't know that it wasn't 44 and a half hours on one topic and half an hour on another topic.
I think we just talked about that just a little while ago. You're correct. So we'll make a motion. I think we have a motion, a second already on the floor. Discussion. All in favor?
Hang on, we have a gentleman.
I think he's the next agenda item. Yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, it's denied. Okay. Mr. Peter Vimini. Am I
Good morning.
pronouncing that correctly?
Vimini, like the island Bimini, but Vimini with a V. Good morning.
So you're looking for 9 hours.
That is correct. I've taken the 3-hour law class. I have a certificate right here from the Real Estate Training and Education Services by the Greater Bridgeport Board of Realtors, which I'm also a former instructor of for the law class, agency law, and I have it right here. I have, oops, you don't see that, but anyway.
We have a copy. I have a copy of it, Peter.
Okay, thank you.
All right. By the way, I have a lot of respect for the Appraisal Institute.
Thank you. I just,
But you've taken the mandatory course also?
that was the agency of law. I took it on March 12th of 2024 with the Greater Bridgeport Board of Realtors. Yes, I did.
Yeah. I move that we accept this.
Second.
Discussion?
I
All
looked
in
at the
favor?
courses, they're extensive and, you know, I can go through them one at a time, but I think it covers it.
Absolutely. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So I'm we're approving you for 9 hours. That's what you're
Thank
asking.
you.
for. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. I wish you the best.
Take care.
Okay, Holly Burke.
Yes, Holly Brick.
So Holly, what you're looking for? Well, you don't need 12 hours, but you're looking for 15 hours. You're looking for courses you're taking. Was this these online courses or what was it?
So the EPA was an in-person course. The OSHA was an online course that's timed, and the IICRC courses are virtual. So you're there with an instructor being proctored.
Mr. Chairman, can you refresh my memory? How many electives do we allow in the CE?
So just real quick, this isn't for CE. She's looking for the 15 elective credits required for the broker pre-licensing requirements.
Okay.
I'm not, first of all, is any of these schools are approved schools in Connecticut?
I took the broker's exam or that course through Alliance Real Estate, and I did pass that. Some of the electives, would be like a appraisal, and there has not been one for me to take given my schedule.
You have a broker's license?
No, sir, I have a real estate salesperson's license, and I took the course to get my brokers because the broker I'm with wants to retire. So she basically gave me the heads up saying, look, I'm over X number of years old. I want to retire in the next year. So, you're going to want to do this
No, but you said
sooner than later.
You said I have passed the brokers. So do you have a broker's license?
I passed the course for the brokers in order to take the state exam, but this portion of my requirements, they're saying you need 15 credits of electives. And what I'm asking for is for you guys to consider all the other courses that I've taken in the last year as an equivalent, because they do deal with houses and mold in houses and water damage and fire damage in houses and construction and lead and asbestos as well.
Well, someone I agree, someone I don't agree. I think mostly in residential, in most cases, I find that we look for an expert in these different situations.
I'd like to make a motion if Mr. Chairman feels that's in an order. I'd like to move to approve 3 hours.
Second.
And the reason 3 hours for part of my discussion is all of these deal with hazards within the residential housing. I believe this would really all be truncated and contained within one elective course.
Okay, more discussion? Okay, so we're all in favor,
Aye.
opposed? So we're approving for 3 hours. These are elective.
Thank you.
Okay, the other thing was old business. Jason, this is in reference to 324K proper brokers to maintain escrow or trust account for certain monies held. You want to discuss this? It's on the agenda. Does anybody know why it was on the agenda? Jason,
I'm sorry, what was that again?
old business. Okay, to discuss, it says old business section 20-324K C of the Connecticut statutes discussion.
It was tabled
And
back in the February meeting, so I left it on the agenda in case it was something we were coming back to.
Okay, this was something in reference to what's going on in the real estate field. And the problem again is, and I think we did discuss, came to a conclusion, the state fair, you've got 3 days, brokers, 3 days to put this in their escrow account. The problem we're having is the Greater Hartford Board contracts. The way the contracts are written now is that it's, even if you have a consummated contract, okay, they in the contract, they said they have 3 days to get a deposit to the listing broker. So that's 3 days, and then 3 days to get, and then the broker has 3 days to get into his account. And then if it's a holiday, it could be as much as 5 days. Well, this is a house that's off the market for 5 days, but this really, apparently, it really has nothing to do, as I can see here, with the state. I mean, the ruling is 3 hours, it's 3 days, 3 days.
And it's 3 calendar days, not 3 business days, correct?
It's 3 business days,
Okay.
all right? So, I guess we've discussed this already. Rochelle, I think we had discussed this once before, too. Anything else anybody want to bring up while we're together?
I just have a,
hear it. Go ahead. You go ahead.
this is Jay, I just have a quick report for you. Let's see here. I think you had requested a case report, but something we can start sharing. So I'm actually going to share my screen. So I put together a little data for you here. So you can see here, we've had some significant work on closing cases over the past month. This nice little orange graph here. And so we're starting with 370 open cases at the moment, but hopefully over the coming months, you'll see that drop off significantly.
I think what we're looking for, though, Jay, we've had in the past, is that what are they? What are we closing? What is the problems that we're having? Are they consistent? What is it?
No, they're all over the map.
This doesn't give us.
Nothing, yeah.
How have we solved so many so quickly? I mean, that huge jump is fabulous.
We've got a great team here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've just been digging into it and closing out the easy stuff and digging into the harder stuff.
I just think it would be very helpful to know what we're closing. And this is what when Rick Mahoney used to do this, I mean, we used to have the copies of what was and we could see what were the problems were, this doesn't really, just tells us numbers.
Well, I mean, I think the numbers are pretty valuable as far as what they are. I mean, if Jill or Mimi want to speak to it, they can, but there's no real consistency. I mean, it's all over the map what the issues are.
Sorry.
Hi, this is Mimi. So just to add to Jay, the reason why this month we've been closing a lot more is Jay has he has set up a system in e-licensing where it was more it was a lot easier to go through. Whereas before Jill and I, we were looking at cases, as it comes up through a particular way e-license was set up. But now that Jay has set it up on an easier way to look at it, we were able to look at these cases a lot quicker. And on top of that, these cases were the ones that I've closed. I can't speak for Jill, but the ones that I've closed, a lot of it was a duplicate. Like, for example, I just closed two, I don't know, earlier this week or last week, where there were 3 complaints that involved one respondent, 2 was anonymous, and 1 was not. And the complaint was very similar, but they were submitted at different dates. So, obviously there's no point of keeping 2 of those anonymous ones opened. I only kept the one with the respondent open because the anonymous ones, I can't contact the complainant to get more information. So it doesn't make sense to keep it open. And then I just kind of figured out through, by investigating that it's the same person anyways, because the complaints are so similar. So that was one of the ones that, that I closed out. And then all the other ones were, a lot of it was out of our jurisdictions. A lot of it had to do with, civil. They should be going to a civil court due to a lot of it is CAM issues.
Yeah, a lot of people complaining again, making a complaint against their homeowners association, which we have no role in.
So those are the cases I've been closing. Like I said, I can't speak on Jill, but that's what I've been closing.
Congratulations. Good job, Jay.
Fantastic. Yeah.
I think one of the things is that is a concern too, is, there's a complaint on who. If it's the broker, the designated broker, whatever, himself, these are pretty serious what they are, and also how his salesperson, or vice versa, the salesperson and the broker is also responsible for the salesperson.
Right. So when we send out, when I send out the, a copy of the complaint, I send out an email to the salesperson, the respondent that the complainant is complaining about. And then I send out a second email to the broker, and I CC the salesperson in it to let them know that their broker is also getting a copy of the complaint.
And we've also streamlined that process. So now on the case, you can, if it's against a salesperson, you can attach the broker to the case, and then every email you send out to the salesperson automatically CCs the broker. So it's going to save them sending out multiple emails.
By the way, it is one of the frustrations with CAM licensing is that whenever an owner or even a potential owner or broker is frustrated with the board, they go after the CAM typically, often. And I've got a complaint last night, that the policy was unfair, that the bylaws are unfair, and the CAM, there's nothing I can do about the bylaws. We're going to see more and more of that, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of complaints on CAMs, and right now, I think there's not a lot of statues on cam, so it makes it, unfortunate for us to have to, turn around and tell the complainants that, this is a civil matter, or this is
Correct.
a contract matter. You have to take it up, at the civil court issue. So there's not a lot that, we can do about cams right now because it just isn't in the statutes.
Well, like the case I was just discussing where a person was unhappy with the bylaws, what I had to tell them is that they need to engage an attorney, and that attorney can draft something for the board, and the board's attorney, it's got nothing to do with CAM. That's a legal matter, and that's a legal discussion.
Yeah, right.
So anyhow, in some of these cases, a lot of these cases, if it's the salesperson that complained on the salesperson is the complaint's on, you notify the broker. Is the broker fined also along with the salesperson?
Well, it depends if, to what extent they have any knowledge or involvement of the issue.
Yeah, but they're technically responsible for the actions of their agents. Am I correct?
Ben, this is Jill Conklin.
Jill.
Yes, when a complaint comes in against a salesperson, the broker is always notified, and the broker has to respond as well to the complaint. And generally, if the salesperson is getting fined, then the broker is also.
Okay, that's how it was. I just want to make sure that has not changed.
Yeah, that hasn't changed. That has not changed.
Anything else?
Yeah, so just a heads up, as you're aware, Ben, we're starting to put together a review of the real estate exam with PSI. And every so often, we just have to go over the questions with them, make sure they're up to date and accurate. So we're coordinating that and gathering our subject matter experts who will sit on that review group. Probably schedule that in the next couple months. Also on Friday, Jill and Mimi and I, along with Paul, our legal rep, are going to be attending the UConn seminar for schools. So all of the real estate educators, I know the providers are going to be there, and it's always a great session. They have a lot of great questions, especially with all of the law changes. I'm sure there's going to be a whole bunch of great questions this Friday. And finally, just like to wish Jill Conklin a happy birthday today.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Jill.
Happy
Thank
birthday,
you.
29
you.
years old.
I know, right?
great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, it's a nice day. May Day, right? Also, it used to be called Law Day years ago. I don't know if they still consider this Law Day. It's not on the calendar anymore, but it used to be. I remember that because when I first started real estate down at the Enfield Square in the 80s, they used the local attorneys used to go there and just give free advice for a few hours every May 1st.
Oh boy.
That's probably why it changed.
Yeah.
You're right there.
Yeah, you're right.
It was a lot day.
Free
Well,
advice
thank
is
you.
often, not worth what you pay for it.
That's right.
You'll enjoy your day.
Thank you so much.
Ben,
Also, Jason, I sent you an email this morning regarding, I recommended somebody. I don't know if you got it. or not.
I did get that. Yes, thank you.
All right. Very good.
Ben, one question as a public member, what's happening with the result of the antitrust action about buyers brokers commissions? I assume that's by the various boards that are working on that, but
Hasn't
Is
been
there any-
approved yet. That's, it's got to be approved.
Yeah. It'll be a little while before the dust settles. Let's put it that way.
okay.
All right. Okay. Well, listen, I'll
Happy
adjourn the meeting.
summer, everybody.
Right. We'll see you in a few months.
And happy spring.
Thank you.
Hey,
Have a
Bye-bye.
great day, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.